What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about Canadian news. Because as an American, I never get to see Canadian news here in the United States from any of our news or media. So today, I'd like to take some time to learn about the current news and events happening in Canada right now, starting with corporations are buying local vet clinics, raising questions about price, choice, and quality of care. The corporations are buying vet clinics in Canada? Really? Is nothing sacred anymore? The corporations are just buying everything? I don't know. I feel like I sound a bit like hippie-ish or something, but honestly, I don't know if this is a good thing. This kind of reminds me of like how healthcare is like here in America for humans. This is just like for vet clinics, right? Large and often international companies have been snapping up local clinics around Canada. Really? There is something just kind of like, I don't know, strange about that when like some random international company you've never heard of owns your local vet clinic. You're just like, really? Why can't just like John from down the street run the vet clinic? That's where I take my cat. Raising questions about who's in control of animal care, costs, and the future of the independent vet. And yeah, I gotta reiterate this. Like, this is kind of just what it's like here in America with our hospitals for humans, for people. Hospitals are just bought and sold and owned by companies, and prices can vary and change. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it. I don't want to think about it too much, but I don't know. I don't want to say that pets don't matter because they do, but this is for vet clinics in Canada, and this is kind of like what people hospital like human clinics are like in the United States, if you know what I mean. I want to take a little closer look at this for a second. The public's going to have less choice, says one independent vet. Right, like, look at this cat even. Even the cat is in distress here. No, I think he's just doesn't want to get his shots. He'll be okay. But yeah, it says for more than a decade, large and international companies have been snapping up local clinics here and there around the world, a trend that intensified in Canada starting a few years before the pandemic. I had no idea this was really a thing, let alone a trend that's increasing in Canada. I don't know how actually bad this is. I guess it boils down to like if the massive corporations are in control of the vet clinics, they're going to be making the policy decisions and running the management. And it becomes more of a question of are they going to do a good job if there's some big faceless corporation that just wants to buy vet clinics in Canada to make money? Are they going to make the best decision making or do the best decision making for Canadians and their pets? It doesn't feel that way in comparison to like a locally owned vet office or something owned by a vet or someone who really genuinely has a passion for animals. That's ideally what it would be like, but I don't know. I didn't know about all that. What else do we have here? 3 dead and 5 injured in evening boat crash north of Kingston. Where is Kingston? Oh my god, 3 dead in a boat crash. 9:30 p.m. at night, Saturday. Oh man, where is this? Kingston, Ontario. This is very sad. 5 others injured, 3 people dead in what police are calling a horrible collision. Oh my god, involving two boats? Two boats just crashed into each other at like night, driving around this lake in Ontario. That is so sad. Oh man, two of those who died, a 21-year-old woman, 23-year-old man. Wow. Pronounced dead at the scene. That's extraordinarily sad. My heart really goes out to their families. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Multiple homes destroyed in Fort Nelson, British Columbia. Wildfire. This is just. Man, is it going to be one of those weeks again where the Canadian news is just a bit depressing? Don't get me wrong. I like to be on top of what's going on in Canada, but it's tough when a lot of these articles are very like depressing and negative. But it is the reality. People died in a boating accident. Homes are being destroyed in British Columbia. I know the wildfires have like remained a problem. Here in America, we heard about the Canadian wildfires for like the first time ever last year because it affected us a little bit. And we were like, what's this? But I know, following up on this news, that this isn't just something that was a small trend for a month like it was here in America. This is an ongoing problem in Canada. I've been hearing British Columbia a lot in the Canadian news here. Um, that's it's really sad, and I don't know what the solution is. It doesn't seem like there really is that much you can do to stop it. You just have to be good at controlling it when it does happen. And Canada has gotten very, very, very good at that out of necessity, it seems like. Wow. What else do we have here? Guide dog owners say new U.S. rules complicate border crossings? I never. It's always crazy to me when institutions make it complicated or difficult for people with like a handicap or a disability, like making border crossing difficult on people with guide dogs. Like, really? Is that who we need to make this difficult on? That seems to be like this is the United States, even we're talking about. We are making it difficult on Canadians with guide dogs trying to visit America. That is sad as well. No. A Manitoba farmer has a surplus of potatoes, so he gave millions of them away. Cool. Okay, fine. This is like the first positive article of the day. We had to start somewhere. Why not with potatoes? A Manitoba farmer gave millions of potatoes away. My God. Donated to organizations across North America. That's fantastic. Were these extra potatoes? What would you do with millions of potatoes? Last year was exceptional for potatoes. I didn't know that. Did you know that? Last year was a great potato year. Okay, cool. We had 100,000 bags of surplus potatoes. Well, that's great that they decided to like actually donate those and put those to use. I wonder if they could have sold them, but they decided to donate them, or maybe they were going to go to waste and they decided to donate them. Either way, fantastic. That is wonderful. Great to hear about. And of course, to follow up, we immediately have Quebec woman mauled in dog attack. These are some of the craziest. This kind of thing happens. You hear about it in the American news sometimes. Dog attacks, like getting mauled by a dog. Sometimes children get killed by dogs. It's really disgusting and tragic. Quebec woman mauled in dog attack wins civil case. Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad because I've heard stories about dogs who have had complaints filed against them in the past. Nothing happens. Then they're off their leash without a fence, and then like someone gets mauled. Dogs are like certain dogs can be quite scary. As cute and cuddly and lovely as most dogs are, I'll even say. Dog mauling is no joke. Seriously. What are those plump pink statues popping up around Montreal? Huh? What is what? What is this?
These pink guys are everywhere.
Oh. What? What is it? What is this? What? Is this some kind of art exhibition in Montreal? Did these, like, plump pink people symbolize something? Or is this a say something about society or what?
There's 15 of them sprinkled mostly along St. Catherine, from
Okay.
McGill College and to Saint Laurent Street. The
Okay.
exhibition is called Mignonisme. Philippe Catherine is the French artist who created them. They've seen many parts of the world, including Lyon in France,
Really?
China, and Sweden. Catherine says the
Really? These, like, chubby pink dudes who are naked are like set up at different points across the world? That's interesting. Uh, it's a new public exhibition by a French artist bringing color, and smiles to people in the city's downtown. So are they just visiting Montreal? These pink statues like get shown all over the world? Okay. Do they have like some kind of deeper meaning?
It's good to have something like that.
Quartier des
It's good. You heard it here first. It's good to have something like this. This pink naked man.
Spectacle says showcasing public art is important for the district.
We know that the mix of culture and commerce is what's going to make it downtown Port.
I was just waiting for someone to explain like what it means. I'm not the most art savvy individual in the world. I don't really understand the meaning or symbolism behind these plump pink naked statues, but you know, maybe the only meaning that you need is that they're fun and they bring people a smile and joy. And that's genuinely all the meaning you need sometimes. That's funny. Okay, British Columbia man who was tracking a bear airlifted to hospital after grizzly attack. Oh my god, dog attacks, grizzly bear attacks. Um, this is a bit of a tragic week in the Canadian news. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that there's been a couple of kind of uplifting news articles here that we've looked at, but I don't know. What exactly are zombie fires? How are they affecting wildfires? Zombie fires. I feel like this was in the Canadian news a few weeks ago. You think they're dead, and then they're back. These are fires that have been put out, wildfires that have been put out, that have carried over from last year. Wow. Fires that smolder below the surface in winter? They survive the whole winter under the snow as like a smoldering heap, and they can come back? That is terrifying. What? How does that work? How does nature work? What? What? Officials seize around $500,000 worth of baby eels at Toronto Airport. What's going on? What is going on in Canada these days at Toronto Airport? $500,000 worth of eels? Baby eels. There they are. I'm guessing that's not legal to do that. Were they like smuggling baby eels into Toronto or something? Were destined for shipment overseas. They're worth between $400,000 to $500,000. Our message is crystal clear. Do not travel to Nova Scotia to illegally fish or export elvers this year. Are you kidding me? Someone traveled to Nova Scotia to capture like thousands of pounds of baby eels and tried to smuggle them through the Toronto airport to sell them. Is that what we're hearing? Is that what we're hearing? The baby eels are worth $5,000 per kilogram. $5,000 per kilogram, you say? Maybe I can take a little trip to Nova Scotia. $5,000 a kilogram, you say? Oh, maybe this isn't so dumb. Okay. More than lobsters, scallops, or salmon, making them the most valuable fish by weight in Canada. Really? Are there Canadians like farming eels legally? This sounds like a very lucrative business. If you're in Canada right now, you might want to go check out Nova Scotia. Maybe check out this eel business. Just an idea. What else do we have here? Man, there's a lot of news. A lot of news this week. Oh my, This woman's secret to turning 105. A walk and a cup of tea. Really? I love hearing advice from people who have lived super, super long. I've heard all sorts of crazy stuff like chocolate or red wine and a cigar every day. This person says a walk and a cup of tea, and they're 105. That's incredible. That's amazing. And more people are living over 100 like these days. It's pretty miraculous. Alberta RCMP link 4 Calgary murders to a 1970s American serial killer? Really? America is showing up in a little bit of this Canadian news, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. Like we're making it difficult on people with guide dogs to cross the border. An American serial killer is linked to 4 Calgary murders from the 70s, and they just now solved this cold case. They solved 4 historical homicides dating to the 1970s, linking them to a single man, serial killer and repeat sexual offender who police believed likely committed sexual crimes until his death in an Idaho prison in 2011, Gary Allen Surrey. Dang. Wow. I'm glad they finally got to the bottom of it. That is dark. Squirrels caused 80 outages in Toronto? I shouldn't be laughing. The poor squirrels. Last year? Oh my, what? Squirrels caused 80 outages in Toronto last year. Hydro officials. That's right, in Canada you call it hydro. That means electricity, right? Raccoons caused 13 outages. They keep track of this stuff? While birds cause 30. But it's the squirrels. 80 outages in Toronto. Look at him. Look how cute. And I can't help but imagining this squirrel causing an outage and getting zapped with 5 billion volts of electricity. Oh my god. After coming into contact with power equipment. Wow. I guess that makes sense. It's just not something I've ever really stopped and thought about. What else do we have here? Let's check out a couple more of these before we call it a day. There's a lot. Ontario's first measles death in decades offers grim reminder that unvaccinated are at risk. Kids are at risk. Measles, yeah, measles still happens, right? But everyone's basically vaccinated at a young age. Someone actually died from measles in Canada. Wow, I did not hear about that. That's very, very sad. Especially if it's preventable, you know? Oh, minister suggests Canada is considering tariffs on Chinese EVs following US. Yeah, the US is starting to raise tariffs on China. Who knows where this is all going to go? Maybe Canada will as well. Hamilton child dies of measles. That's very sad. Wow. Intelligence chief warns Canadians that China can use TikTok to spy on them. Yeah, this has been a big news story in America as well, whether we're going to ban TikTok or not. China owns the app, and they could be spying on us. I don't really care if they're spying on me. If they're spying on my TikTok, it's okay, they're going to know that I watch, dancing cats and people making sculptures out of chocolate. There's worse things. I don't know what they're going to do with that information, but I get the idea. It is, kind of disturbing. In the US, they're trying to get TikTok to sell the app to a US-based company to make it legal. We'll see how that goes. Maybe Canada is doing something similar. What else do we have here? Tractor trailer falls off highway overpass near Bedford? I'm not sure where Bedford is. Oh, it's in Nova Scotia. Tractor trailer falls off a highway? Oh my god. No reports of injuries. Thank goodness. Okay. That sounded like more bad news. Not that bad. So that's incredible. Some like a tractor fell off a overpass and no one was hurt. That's fantastic. Darren Dutchison, TSN broadcaster, dead at 57. That's sad. That's too young. I'm not familiar with Darren Dutchison. Maybe Canadians are more familiar with him. Rest in peace. That's sad. Only 57 years old. Anything else? Poilievre still won't say if he'll scrap government's capital gains tax hike. This is the opponent to Trudeau. I think this is the Canadian who could possibly be the next prime minister. Now, funny enough, this is a news story that has made some waves in America. Very rare when this happens. And the news story is about how Canada is increasing its capital gains taxes. So for some reason, that's big news in America. I think because we're all terrified here that our capital gains taxes are going to increase. So Poilievre is trying to say his stance on that, but is like dancing around it, I guess. Because people are like, hey, we'll vote for you if you don't increase our capital gains tax. And he's like, I don't know, maybe. Typical politicians, I tell you. Anything else here to finish up with, maybe? Maybe some good news. Olive oil prices jump. No, that's not what we want to end on. We want to end on something good. Suicide is the leading cause of death for young people. No, that's not what we're looking for. A chunk of space debris landed in a Saskatchewan farm. A chunk of space debris landed in Canada, in a Saskatchewan farm. Okay, let's check that out. Farmer hopes to they hope to sell the 2-meter piece of burnt metal to raise money for a local hockey rink. That is excellent. That is perfect. Most Canadian thing I'm going to hear all day. A piece of an alien spaceship, or probably a satellite or something, fell into this Saskatchewan farmer's field. He wants to sell it on eBay to raise money for a local hockey rink. How wholesome is that? How Canadian is that? And with that, I think that's a perfect place to stop off for today. This was an interesting week in Canadian news. A lot of sad news, disturbing news, a couple of uplifting stories, so it was quite a good variety of Canadian news here today, and I do enjoy being more in the loop in this way, so I enjoyed it for what it was. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of this Canadian news for this week, or any other Canadian news stories that I may have missed that were very, very important this week. That'd be fantastic to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.